Hello YouTubers, Troz here, playing some more Kerbal Space Program. We left off last time here on Minmus, attempting to rescue Barbel Kerman and her craft. It's actually just a... nope, that's not it. That's a part of our rocket that apparently survived. There is Barbel'scraft. It's just a, looks like a aircraft crew module. She looks very happy because we're here to rescue her. Yeah, sitting in the front row here, this crew module. How's the headroom? Pretty decent. So we have our rescue craft here. We have basically full tanks. Just a little bit of fuel was used during the very last stages of landing, because we still had two side rockets that had fuel. We have used about half our monopropellant, but once we pick up Barbel'scraft, we basically won't need it anymore. So that's okay. I think we are just about ready for this rescue. I think I just want to put a flag down here beforehand. So let's EVA out and oh, okay. This actually, why do you let go? Why'd you let go? Let's move you away here slightly. All right. Let's have Verica. I mean, we're here. We might as well take a surface sample. I'm not even sure if we have data from here or not yet. Let's plant the flag. Barbel's rescue location. And let's get back aboard our craft. There we go. We should be grab board. Oh. That's not IVA. Let's EVA again. And can we climb up? Alright, this is somewhat important. We have Barbel'scraft targeted. We should be looking at it. It should be... I thought it was showing up before. Okay, there it is. And it's like halfway between 90 and 135. Wow, that was quite a jump. So that is... Alright, yeah, I guess technically the spacecraft is blocking our view. That's why it doesn't show up here. So we want to head in that direction as well when our craft lifts off. Our craft is probably rotated relative to that, so... yeah, take a nice flying leap off there. Don't you? And come back down. grab. Okay. Enough playing around here. I said grab board. Alrighty. Okay, so for the way we're rotated, it's actually directly, well, relatively east, although, I mean, it's not. It's this direction on the nav ball. So here's the trick. We're gonna take off and kind of just hover and move in that direction. Not quickly. Well, we'd like to go quickly to save fuel. We have plenty of fuel, so we don't need to go quickly. Fuel, not up later. Which we also have plenty of. So we would like to move in that direction at a slow enough rate that we can put down without tipping over, which shouldn't be an issue. We do have RCS to keep us vertical, so that shouldn't be an issue. In addition, though, before we take off, we need to open this claw. Why can't I click on the claw? There. I'm not sure how or why that took so long to activate, but now we have the claw active. Basically, we're going to fly over and hopefully we can land just above it. I believe with the legs down, we'll still have clearance. That's what I'm hoping. If not, hey, we'll just grab it right away, but I believe it's not quite this tall. Then assuming it's not clamped yet, I'll do a tricky maneuver where we pull up the legs, grab it, and then head off to space. Because I don't want to be sitting on it. And possibly break it. There we go. Reset the view. We want to target Barbel'scraft. We want to turn on SAS and RCS. And, alright, I think we want to do this now. I'm first going to try using RCS to translate to slide over. But if that doesn't work, I will try tipping over. We are slightly tilted away from where we want to go. So I may need to correct that first. So let's go in about 3, 2, 1. Alright. So too much thrust. Alright, we're staying mostly vertical, and we do have slight sideways thrust. I think we're coming down now slowly. And that means we want to go up. And yeah, you can see our distance is decreasing, but that may be because we're descending. We're actually just about hovered right now. And we're using about a unit of fuel a second, which really isn't bad. Alright, here comes craft on our navball. And I do want to descend slightly. And I want to go this way slightly. But we basically want our velocity pointed right at Barbel'scraft, which it almost is. That's like right on, which is good. Hardly using any fuel, which is also very good. Less than 50 meters away. I'm gonna rotate. Oh, wow, we are close. Need to go up a bit. We're a little off sideways. We basically put down kind of little dangerous. We are quite a bit dangerous, actually. Our thrust was pushing on Barbel'scraft. Let's aim down and get a little closer view. Well, it says we're 21.6 meters away, but that is basically from the cockpit. Let's see if I can lift off and not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, that wasn't what... Alright, we got some problems because we got an engine directly on Barbel'scraft. And, that may cause problems. But we're really close. It's just a matter of maneuvering. That is why I made a quick save. I'm wondering if we can lift off with that engine shut down. Or if bad things will happen. Alright, we are blowing Barbel'scraft around. Basically, Yeah, I wasn't sure how much heat that could take or how much... I didn't think even low thrust would put out that much heat, but apparently being directly against the craft, yeah, and I just wasn't quick enough to shut it down. That's why I did the quick save beforehand, because I wasn't sure what was happening. Let's say that was a test. I am now have a nice view from above, and since we can kind of just hover, it looks like we aren't going up and down right now. I am basically going to play a crane game and try to get right over the center of Barbel'scraft, and hopefully we won't blow it around as we land. I mean, there is gas coming out of our engines that will push things around, but if we get high enough over Barbel'scraft as we come down, the push should be equal from all sides, so it shouldn't really move. And assuming we come down right over it, we won't have a problem. We're going up a little too high. We have RCS thrusters at the top and bottom, so I shouldn't be causing too much of a tilt. I'm not sure how centered they are. I'm probably causing slight tilts, but that's what the RCS is for. Alright, we're almost over. I'm coming down a bit. I want to be more over before I come down. I think that's vertical. Alright, we're going up again. Ooh, don't want to completely cut. Alright, I think we're right over, and I just want to be careful. We bounced. I think that may be good enough, though. If it was... Now it's not. And we kicked it up. But it's falling back under, I hope. Alright. I'm going to quick save again. And I'm going to try to get the craft captured. It is quite a bit low enough. I'm going to retract the gear and then get ready to throttle up when it looks like we have it, as to not crush. There we go. We have captured Barbel'scraft, and we want to head east and get off this rock. That went about as good as it could have, assuming that it was a simulation at first, and we didn't actually blow up Barbel'scraft with our engines. So we're gonna fly up to about 10 kilometers here, and get a little orbit. That will be fine. These engines do stay hot for a while. I probably should have put maybe some radiators on them or something. Once we are in orbit, we will secure Barbel'scraft. Why is our electric charge going down? Are you... Had this problem last time, and, well, I retracted the solar panels and then couldn't get them back out again. I just played with it a little bit, and then cannot deploy while stowed. Yeah, this was the problem I had. Alright, we will rotate around and maybe... I'm not sure what I did. I'm not sure if I had to switch back to Kerbal Space Center. Blocked by arrow shielding. No, you're on the side. You shouldn't be blocked. Next time, don't put photovoltaic panels on the sides of cargo bays. We're getting a bit of power, and we're not losing that much. It's not a problem. It's just going to be a... Well, we can't even fast forward that much. I'll go down to about 30 seconds, and then we need to get lined up. Alright, 23, that's about 12 seconds, which is about now. We should just say prograde. How are we doing? That's... oh, that's a little much. Not that bad, though. We now need... Well, we need to do a lot of things. We need to get home. We need to get rid of most of this fuel. We'll add a maneuver here. This is wasteful. Correcting our inclination. But we have fuel. Quite a bit more than we need. That okay, alright. Periapsis is showing. And why is that actually going up? Okay, that was a little bit strange, but, hey. Should now continue to come in. And I will leave it about 100 kilometers. That's pretty good. And that's just so we will be able to then use our engines to slow down. But before we do that, where's Alright, before we leave here, I want to totally secure Barbel'scraft. But we can't... I don't want to do it in the shadow here. And the sun's about to set, so we're gonna time warp a bit, hoping it's only like 20 minutes, so we have still like 10 minutes before the burn. So this is gonna be a bit of a tricky maneuver. Alright, we should be coming into the sun. There we go. About 15 minutes. Actually, yeah, turn prograde, because that's going to be roughly our burn. You know what, just hold there. Or not. I still don't have any of the Kerbals leveled up enough to get target mode, but oh well. Let's just point at this target. Alright, this is going to be tricky and a bit dangerous, but not as dangerous as picking up Barbel. Alright, we're gonna open the cargo bay here. And there is a arm that we're gonna arm. Let's a little bit of rotation here so we have some sunlight in the cargo bay. There we go, that is great, right there. And we are going to release Barbel. And hopefully it doesn't push her away too quickly. That's great. Let's... Alright, we've basically come to a stop. I want to go back a little. That's great. I want to slide down now. Back towards Barbel's vessel. So it looks like Barbel's vessel is coming up. So far, so good. 11 minutes to go. Alright, that's just about nice. I want to slow down and stop relative. Alright, we want to slightly like that. And slightly forward, which is a little more like that. Basically, I'm trying to capture Barbel'scraft in this cargo bay, so it'll be well protected from the rigors of atmospheric re-entry. Just getting a little closer. Go that way a little. Alright, it is going to slide in real nice, real soon. Alright, and alright, we have grabbed it again, I believe. Yes. And now we can close the cargo bay doors. And it is safely inside. Yeah. Not poking out or anything. We can extend this panel again. Not sure why we couldn't before, but we can do it now. And we are collecting solar panel again. And we're all ready for our return burn. So let's... Can I... warp to next maneuver. Alright, we have about a minute. And we have a minute and 12-second burn. So that means we want to burn like at 37 seconds. Let's line up a bit. And start the burn. This is a relatively good sized burn, but we should have the fuel for it. These are rather efficient engines. The only problem is we have quite a bit of weight. We have escaped, apparently. Oh, did I somehow way overdo this and we're going to be going the opposite direction? Because that's not what I want. I'm going to manually stop this when it gets... kind of close. Or let's get a little closer down. That's perfect. I'm not sure why we had another 73 meters per second here. But this should be a good return. And in fact, we should be coming in on the sunny side. There's just one more potential danger here. Well, two I can say. Re-entry, or and then if the parachutes will slow us enough. But at this point, we can... I think we can time warp to about here. So we left Minmus in the dust, and we are coming up on Kerbin here. Alright, that's probably a bit far, but I'll just come in a bit closer. Actually, we're not entering the atmosphere, so I probably want to... Well, let's add a maneuver here. And I'm not sure how much fuel we have, but I want to... Let's turn off monopropellant, because we actually don't have much of that left. And having a little for landing might be useful. So I want to save about 100 units of fuel. But otherwise, I want to bring our orbit in as close as possible. That means we'll be going as slow as possible when we hit the atmosphere. So let's... Got 5 minutes. And I think we're still going to have plenty of fuel after this maneuver. So actually this is a very similar size burn to what we just did. So let's start it in just a few seconds here. 40. Let's go. Now this is bringing our apoapsis in. I know we're a little over time here, but I want to finish this mission in this episode, so this will be a bit of a longer episode. I may just continue to burn until we're out of fuel. Although that could also be dangerous if that has us dropping into the atmosphere too fast. I want to gently slow down, maybe 40 kilometer, 42 kilometer periapsis in the atmosphere. And we still have about half our fuel left. So we definitely had the Delta V to go and rescue. Let's see how we're probably going to need more and more fuel as this gets closer and closer. I'm just going to keep an eye on things. How are we doing here? We're doing pretty good. We're above the atmosphere, so that's all that matters. This maneuver node isn't really useful. We just need to keep an eye on this. We may actually wind up circularizing our orbit and still have fuel left. Space Center is just seeing sundown. These engines aren't repeating or anything. And that in orbit mode, not target mode. Alright, we have used quite a bit of our fuel now, but we still have over 1,000 units. Okay, this is starting to whip around here. Ooh. That is something we don't want. However, we have plenty of fuel. Once we get close to our apoapsis, we can actually flip around and get that back out. I'm gonna stop. We still have lots of fuel. When our oxidizers reach 1,000, I will stop burning, and you know what? Actually, let's stop here. Space prograde again. We need to get back into orbit. We are suborbital at this moment. 27... 120. That will be good. We want this fuel tank to be basically empty because we're going to be practically landing on it. So that's kind of why we're doing this. These are all empty, it's just this main fuel tank. These are all just fuselage parts. Getting this back into orbit. It's pretty good, 90, 100. Alright, we are pretty low on fuel now, which is what we want. I'm gonna add a maneuver approximately here. I'll bring our periapsis down to about 45, 44. Let's say 40. 40 is nice altitude. And that will be on next orbit, just as we're you know, we want to move that around a bit more. We want to be more in the sun. Alright, that's 57 now, so... $40.5. They'll use up a bit more fuel. And, yeah, once we hit the atmosphere, then we can burn some more fuel off, but aiming slightly up so we don't really reduce our periapsis. We got about 17 minutes. Let's first rotate around. Well, you know what? Let's stay prograde. And I'm going to actually say retrograde, but then quickly say warp to next maneuver, because it's going to be roughly in our previous prograde direction will be our retrograde. Roughly. Alright, we are in Kerbin's shadow. That doesn't matter too much. This will be a 12-second burn. Not too bad. And it's in about 35 seconds or so. I'll start at 6 or 7. Little dark. We have lights. Should have turned them on earlier. Alright. About 10 seconds less than that now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut. $40. Great. Hopefully we won't hit the atmosphere until about here, and we're in the sun. When we do hit the atmosphere, we can actually track these panels, but let's time warp until we hit the atmosphere, or thereabouts. Alright, we are coming around. Should get in the sun momentarily. Here we go. It's charging us up. And we are just about to hit the atmosphere. So let's get out of time warp, get in a retrograde. Position. And at this point I want to just do stability assist and kind of point something like that direction. Point up more because our periapsis has dropped, I think. Is that well, that's not what I was hoping to do, but let's get this back to something close to what we want. We still have fuel. How do we fix this? Can we thrust down? Let's air maneuver if we just Alright, let's carry that out. RCS. 9, 30, 1. At this point, I think we just want to go prograde. We don't have that much fuel. That's retrograde. We want to go prograde. We have time. We're not in the atmosphere right now, right? Not quite. 2, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 9, 40, 4, 5. Great. Retrograde again. Or let's stability, and we just go up. What will that do? Let's kill this. That's raising that. Where's retrograde? Well, we're almost out of fuel, and we're still about where we want to be height-wise. 37, a little lower, but that's okay. Let's now just say retrograde. We're out of fuel. That's what we wanted. We now need to dump weight. Why aren't... There we go. There goes the claw. We have a heat shield here. It's a smaller one. We have a secondary bigger one in case. We also need to get rid of these engines. And we're going to retract these panels so they don't burn up in a few moments. We should be aerodynamically stable, but, you know, we'll see how it all works out. Actually, I will say hold that direction. Alright, we can eject this one more time if this ablator starts showing rapid use or rapid heat. Or if this cone starts heating up. We do have another ablator here, but that will also rid us of our lower RCS thrusters. Alright, any moment now we should be hitting the atmosphere. Well, I mean, we're in it, but it should start slowing us down as we're reaching the outer edges of the effective atmosphere. We may wind up... Yeah, we probably will wind up on this land. Hopefully we'll wind up in the light. Okay, here we come. Atmospheric effects. Leader's wearing a little bit, but I mean, that's to be expected. So far, so good. Not seeing any little thermometer meters, which means we're staying cool enough. Our periapsis has dropped quite a bit, and we will not be exiting the atmosphere at this point. Leader's gotten seemingly quite hot. Still seem to be doing okay otherwise, though. Alright, that looks really hot now. Wondering if I want to or should switch to our second ablator, but not sure we could get that one off at this point. Still has plenty of ablation left, so basically what the ablator is it's a special material that as it gets hot, it doesn't conduct the heat very well, but also the hot parts kind of burn and flake off, carrying the heat away, exposing fresh, cool ablator surface. And we're starting to ablate at a good rate of nearly half a unit per second, I think that is. Yeah, it looks like that. Alrighty. Still come down, still no temperature meters, so that's good. Oh, there. Those seem to be our battery and our 2 solar panels and a light over here. The light comes our RCS. Why aren't we slowing down? We're now beginning to slow down, but we're quite low actually. probably dipped in a little too close in the atmosphere. Things are holding though. Battery is the worst. But I think it might survive because we're slowing pretty good now. Well, we lost that lower blader, but we do have this upper one. Let's turn off RCS. We don't really need it. We're at 10,000, dropping 500 meters per second and slowing. And hopefully we will slow under. Alright. Oh, we are. Oh, we're still in orbit. We can put out all our parachutes. We got some drogue chutes. They will kick in at 2.5 kilometers. Which is right there. Actually, which is... I noticed right there, but no, it was earlier. I was looking at the numbers instead of the actual altitude over the ground. It slowed us quite a bit. I just hope all the rest of these will slow us. Here they go. And that appears to be quite a safe landing speed. Basically under 8 should be safe for, like, if you're at 7.9 ticking up and down slightly, that's a little dangerous. 6 is relatively safe. Really, you want to be under 5. And let's just time warp this down. Yeah, so the explosion of the lower shield unit, that was quite frightening. But I think the rest of this is going to go well. There's our shadow. Let's slow back down. I'm going to turn on SAS and RCS again, just so we don't tip over. Great. We've performed a docking maneuver on Minmus. Started constructing the first station. Well, if you want to call this a station, let us recover. And hey, we got some science. Look at that. Parts, cupola, later oxidizer, Mark II crew cabin, crew, Verica, and Barbel. And Verica advanced to level 2. Alright. And recover Barbel aircraft from the surface of Minmus. We completed that. That is great. It's a little longer than I wanted to go. I was hoping you'd be under an hour, but that's how things go. I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later with some more Kerbal Space Program. See you then.